Well, you know, once in a while I do interview opera singers, and this one is an international fame. Julie Migenes, how are you?
Fine.
Julie, you are just absolutely beautiful. I saw you just recently at Strasbourg, and you did...
La Voix Humaine. Yeah.
Oh, was it one? You did that movie too.
Yes, yeah.
Peter Matt.
Yes, with Peter, yeah. He directed
He directed it. And also you were married to Peter.
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that wonderful Hungarian man.
Well, you know what? When I met Peter, he was looking for. was here for just visiting, and he was looking for somebody for the Twilight Zone who could sing La Traviata and act.
Right.
And he was speaking to an actress, and because he said, "Darling, I can't find. They want me to use an actress, and I can't anybody sing." And she said, "There's Julia Migenes, but she'll never do it. She's not even here." I was here. I go in, I meet him, and the funniest thing is, a light flashed behind his head. Nothing like that happened in my life. A light flash. I look, there's no light. It must have been a signal. Do not go near this man. Because I fell so in love with him. He's a man you fall in love with immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck because he's the sweetest, most wonderful man. If you get along, that's a whole other thing. But you can't help it. You know,
Hungarians are all, they sound like Jaja, all of them, don't they?
No, everything's darling.
Darling, yeah.
Darling this, and we were getting, you know, we were moving into the house, and there was this worker coming through, this big Mexican guy carrying something, and Peter was, "Darling, can you come in and do this?" You know, and he was looking at him like, yeah.
Right. He's a marvelous human being.
Absolutely.
And how many times were you married?
4 times.
4 times.
Yes.
Any other hobbies?
No, that one and tango dancing are about it. Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up actually in New York, but I was already working from the time I was 3.
Really?
So I was, you know, I was traveling a lot.
What do you mean working since the time you were 3?
We were on welfare, extremely poor, and there was a little dancing school on the corner, and I had a scholarship. I was this little curly-headed kid.
And you're a little mixture of Puerto Rican, too.
I'm Puerto Rican, Greek, and Irish.
What a combination.
Yeah.
Fiery.
Yes.
That's why you're such a woman, because you have that fiery combination of Greek and Puerto Rican
and
Irish.
Yes.
Right. That's a hot, well, that's hot, honey.
Yeah, it's not easy. But in any case, so from that, you know, they would call for any kiddie shows, also in the opera. I did all the little kids in operas. I was on that stage watching those people sing. It was just really fantastic. And so I grew up in New York, but I really didn't have I was working the whole time.
Did you ever study with Carlo Menotti? Not Giancarlo, but Carlo.
No.
Yeah, he was a voice teacher on 58th Street.
Yeah.
He was in Carnegie Hall too.
Wow.
But you did work on Giancarlo Menotti's opera.
Yes, St. Bleecker Street. Yes.
Yeah. How many operas
was fantastic.
have you done?
I have no idea.
You have
I've done. No. I never. You understand? There are no numbers that exist. No numbers or sizes. So I don't know. A lot.
Placido
in many languages.
Placido Domingo. You worked with him twice.
More than that, actually. Yes.
Tell me about that.
I've recorded with him. I did the film Carmen with him. I've been on stage with him many, many times. I've done concert tours with him. He's the most wonderful, generous, decent colleague, family man.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard that all the time.
Yes. I mean, he's such a brilliant singer, you can't even hold it against him because he's such a nice man. You know, he's really brilliant.
He gives you space.
Yes.
He gives you freedom.
And he protects you.
He does.
He will protect you on stage.
What is your favorite opera? Do you have a favorite?
For my mood, actually, because, you know, I've been married 4 times, so as you can see, I'm not very stable in something in one direction.
Right.
It's according to my mood. Like, for a while, sometimes it'll be just Salome, which is slightly atonal. Other times it'll be a Puccini thing. Or you know, it really depends. God, you know.
You know, Julie Migenes, I've always thought of you as Anna Magnani, a young Anna Magnani.
Oh, that's a compliment.
If anyone would ever do Anna Magnani's life story, I think you would do it really great. As an actress, I'm talking
Thank you.
Because you're really a great actress.
Thank you so much.
When I saw you perform at the Strasbourg, oh, the way you carry on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you know, I wanted to do it at the Strasbourg because I'm going to tour with it at the end of the year
Right.
In France. And I wanted to do it in a place, I wanted to workshop it. I wanted to really see how deeply can I go. And I felt so protected at the Strasbourg Theatre
Right.
because it's the home of method acting.
Right.
So one will expect you to really go deeply into a role. And I really felt that I had the license, and I'm so glad you could feel that. I
Right.
really felt I had the license to explore this person's personality down to the depth, which you can't really do on stage in an opera with
Not at
a
all.
120-piece
No, it's
orchestra.
No,
Yeah.
but you did for me. God,
thank you.
I did
Thank
really
you.
see what a great actress you really
Thank
are.
you so much.
What have you learned about yourself
Since when? In what?
in life? In life, Julia? I mean, you've been around the world. What have you learned about you?
I've learned about me that it's people are important to me, and my separateness from them is very important too. That I remain contained, and yet at the same time contact people, and really, to really feel them and
Right.
and then go back. And basically that my whole life is I'm married to my art. I'm married to my voice, and my lover is dancing,
And the gypsy.
Yeah.
Very gypsy.
Yes.
You're very gypsy and fiery, but a real woman on stage. I'm talking
Yeah.
about, there are very few women
I
can
think
do women like
Yeah.
woman. You're a woman.
Yeah, I think very few women embrace that. I am not a person who hates men.
I know. Quite
Not
obvious.
at all.
Quite
and
obvious.
I really, really love the yin and yang.
Yeah, you like the strong men, too.
Yes,
I could see it.
because I'm very strong.
Yes.
So unless I have a very strong man, I am not feminine.
As a child, was it tough for you as growing up as
Yeah.
a child in here?
Yeah.
Why?
Being very poor, it's very hard. We were on welfare. My mother
Really?
had 5 kids. My
Do you
mother
regret
had
that? You regret all
Not
that?
at all. It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So you...
Yes. My mother had 3 kids with the next door neighbor and 2 kids with the guy she was married to. It was hell. They were killing each other, those 2 guys, because 3 of them looked like the next door neighbor. I was one of them,
Right.
the Greek nose.
Yeah.
And the rest, and both were alcoholics. It was insane.
Ooh, wow.
Insane. But my mother, the one came after her with we're in the middle of eating spaghetti.
The knife?
One came out, no, ice pick.
Ice pick.
Because that was the closest thing he could grab. And my mother, not even flinching, she just threw all that spaghetti water on his legs. Bam, like that.
It's like she was tough,
and you
too.
learned,
Yeah.
to defend. You learned to be a lioness in the...
Close family?
No.
No?
No, when a woman is that overwhelmed,
Yes.
she could not be close to any of us. We had to, just do our thing, which was, for me and my personality, a very positive thing. It made me, connect here. For my sister, it was a little more difficult. She's more emotional. So everybody takes it differently.
Who did you study singing with?
Actually, I had a natural voice.
Natural?
Yes.
It just...
I had this natural voice, yeah.
So you grew up as a child around the opera scene.
Around the opera singers.
Yeah.
When you watch them, you imitate.
Absolutely.
So
as
I had,
a child, yes.
yeah. And then I started studying in New York, but I never found a teacher who could take me further than what I could do naturally, interestingly enough, until I hit a German teacher outside of Cologne, Germany, Gisela Aulmann, and she was really brilliant.
And strong,
Yes,
too, because
yes.
those Germans are singers.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They must love you in Germany.
Yes.
Because Germany it's a great opera place.
Yes, it's a great opera place, and the Germans really love anyone who has a little bit of Latin or
Absolutely.
anything more,
Yeah.
They like that.
That's why they go to South America a lot.
Absolutely,
Because
yes.
They love that Latin
Yes.
temperament.
Yeah, it relaxes them a bit from there because they're extremely
intelligent. It's the most intelligent
and
race.
cerebral and
it's the most intelligent
yeah.
race there is. I claim it too.
Yeah.
They really are.
Very
the Germans.
yeah,
I've been all over the world, and they really have
yeah.
that key eye
Yeah.
about people.
Yes.
Now you travel all over the world. Do you have a favorite place where you perform?
I don't
Vienna,
know.
Paris, or where?
I've been everywhere.
I know. You've been all over the world.
I've been everywhere. I guess, then again, according to my mood, recently it's really been France.
France.
I was in Vienna a long time, in Germany a long time, and in London, England.
I love Paris too.
But France has a certain, you can develop a certain part of you in France differently than in other countries. They love. No, I wouldn't say they love the drama, but you can go deeper in a certain way.
No, they do love the drama.
Yeah.
They do. They really do. Yeah.
If you look at Sarah Bernard, you look at those actors and actresses that stood on stage strong. They love that, and they respect their artists so tremendously.
Julie Migenes, when you first got on that stage at the Metropolitan, looking out there, whew, tell me about it. That evening. What was it? What show?
Well,
do you remember?
it was, I replaced, what happened was when I signed my contract to sing at the Met, they said, would you understudy, you will sing 3 major roles, but will you understudy Lulu? It's a 12-tone opera, very, very, very difficult to learn, Alban Berg. And I said, do I get a performance? They said, no. I said, who's singing it? They said, Teresa Stratas, who's one of the greatest singing actresses ever, but sometimes she overwhelms herself and cancels a performance.
Yes.
So I said, I have a year to study this. I moved my whole family to London, only because I didn't want them to live in Germany. I thought London would be better for their life, for theater in English. They didn't speak German. And I commuted to Germany, to Gisela, and for 1 year, I got Lulu into my voice and into my brain. I go to the theater the year after, at the end of the year, and I wasn't allowed to watch any rehearsals until they got on the stage. And I saw 2 rehearsals on stage, 3 or 4 rehearsals on stage, and then I sang a half of a rehearsal sitting with the orchestra because she had a costume thing. So James Levine knew I knew the role.
Right.
And I'm 3 months pregnant, and I do my Christmas shopping, and at 4 o'clock,
they called.
Can you come to the Met tonight? It's live at the Met. Lulu, she's sick.
I love it.
She got really a flu.
Right.
She cannot do it. I said, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I guess I can. So I took a bag of oranges in a Mickey Mouse bag because I didn't have anything else.
Right. I love it.
And I get there, and I get no taxi will take me. I say, I'm an opera singer. Take me to the Met. Yeah, lady. So I finally.
I love it.
I get there. 20 minutes before curtain goes up, James Levine comes in and he says, are you okay? I said, I haven't vocalized yet. He said, I'll follow you. He left the room, they put the wig on, and I went on stage. The rest is history, you can see it. I walk on stage, and everything, my whole life took over.
I love it.
All my training, that 1 year of training took over.
Yep.
My stage, since I've been 3 years old on stage, took over. And you can see I don't make one mistake. 12-tone music, I don't make one mistake. I don't look at him once, at the conductor once. Nothing. And the staging was just like that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You brought a clip from
La Voix Humaine because you wanted something.
I wanted to see, and I loved my audience to see this.
Yeah.
This is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
She's absolutely mad.
Yeah, she's having a nervous breakdown.
She really is.
Leaving. She won't let go of her boyfriend.
She won't let her go. Okay, let's hear it. Like any other woman.
Je connais ta voix, mais mon chéri du tout pareil. Tous les jours, c'est beau, c'est triste. Les ruptures sont des ruptures. Ils regardent vite. Tu ne le feras jamais comprendre. Tu ne le feras jamais comprendre certaines choses. Le mieux est de faire comme moi et de s'en moquer complètement. Rien. Je crois que nous parlons comme d'habitude. Et puis tout à coup, la vérité me revient. Dans le temps, on se voyait, on pouvait perdre la tête, oublier ses promesses, risquer l'impossible, convaincre ce qu'on adorait, on les embrassant, on se rechantait. Sois tranquille, on ne se suicide pas deux fois. Je ne saurais pas acheter un revolver. Tu ne me vois pas achetant un revolver. Où trouverai-je la force de combiner un mensonge, mon pauvre adoré? Aucune. J'aurais dû avoir du courage. Il y a des circonstances où le mensonge est utile. Toi, si tu me mentais pour rendre la séparation moins pénible, je ne dis pas que tu mentes.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you. That's outrageous.
She's having a hard
She
time.
is. She really is. You know, Leonard Bernstein discovered you.
Yeah.
At what age?
I never say numbers or
Oh, you don't.
sizes.
I agree.
Excuse me.
Actresses- exactly.
What your body
Leonard
doesn't
Bernstein
know.
is absolutely great, isn't he?
Yes.
How did he discover you? Where
He
did
came to my school. He was looking for young kids. He used to do those young people
Right.
things. And he was looking for young kids who could sing. And among all of them, he took me.
Always red hair?
No.
I love the red hair.
As soon as I could, I dyed this thing red. I love red
I love
hair.
it too. It's fiery. It's
Yeah.
exciting too.
Yeah, yeah.
What has been the hardest for Julia? What has been the hardest?
The hardest thing,
You've been married 4 times.
Yeah.
Has that been the hardest? you
No.
think? No. Good.
the hardest, because I'm married to my art.
Yes.
The hardest thing is to, as life goes on, to keep your voice fresh, intact, and able to do more things.
Oh.
It's so hard because a lot of people stop singing because it goes out of balance.
Right.
And to keep it and to work on it is something that is a constant.
Right.
You're married to it. You do have to every day. I have to get 8 hours of sleep. I cannot be in smoking rooms. I cannot stay out late.
Right.
I cannot, you know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
I've given up half my life just for 2 mucous membranes in my throat.
But Julia Migenes, you're a young lady. Opera singers become, the prime of their life is when they're older.
Yes
Isn't that
and
true?
no. No, a lot of them who
No?
sang with me are not singing now.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was older is when they become real, or is it the men?
No, no, not even that.
Okay.
It depends. It's the rare ones that keep their voice.
How do you keep your voice then, Julia? Tell me, do you vocalize it every day,
Yeah.
or you just, what?
It's between 2 things, but I have the good fortune to have put together a library of books coming from the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s of vocal technique.
Oh.
And their vocalizers, how you vocalize your voice. And those, whenever I have a problem, I go right back to them. Right now I'm into Garcia, who, and he's speaking, I was reading it this morning again and redoing my voice, reworking it according to what he says from 1785. And those vocalies, because I'm singing now Bach, Mozart, and Pergolesi, where you need a technique from that time.
Right.
You cannot sing it with this technique, you need that technique.
You have a favorite conductor?
Oh God, James Levine, Patenay, who's dead.
Yes.
And those were my 2 favorite because they understood me.
Right. Why do people who don't really go to the opera much love Puccini's music? They do love that, but they understand that.
Yeah.
But they don't understand the rest.
Yeah. Because Puccini's music, there's something that touches you that is beyond anything, and it will touch you without even thinking. The greatest coach of the world, that when I worked on Carmen, who worked with Callas von Karajan, everybody called her for the French repertoire, and she's been, when she was 14, she started coaching, and at 14 she said, but no, you are singing about love, it must be different, right? And she said, I was working with her, and she says, I'm going to touch 2 notes on the piano, and I'm going to tell you that every time I hear these, I start crying. And she touched 2 notes like this, twice, and it was Mimi's death note. You hit it, and you start crying, and you've heard nothing else before and nothing else after.
That's those 2 notes.
Those 2 notes. It just says everything.
Puccini was brilliant, wasn't he?
He wrote them at 22 with his friends drinking around him. He wrote this like this.
Incredible.
It's the most 22. And his friends drinking and having a good time and smoking and whatever.
It's exciting.
Yes.
I love his music. Just love his music.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Berlin Blues. Tell me about the movie. You did a movie, Berlin Blues.
Yes, I did a movie, Berlin Blues, and it was just wonderful. It was such fun. It was a Spanish film in English, and I had the best time,
Working with Keith Baxter?
Yes, Keith Baxter, who I adore. But the funnier one was what was it? You said the Brecht, Kurt Weill.
The Mac the Knife?
Mac the Knife. Because that was the best cast ever, and Menachem Golan was the director. And I'll only tell you one thing about Menachem Golan.
Was he really the director? I love it. I love it.
No. But there was this one shot. We do this quickly, and the girl had braids, and they were saying, put your hair up, because the shot before that she had her hair up.
Right.
And he stopped and he said, once and for all, there is no continuity in this film.
So you had fun with that film.
I said, how long have you been doing this? I've made 30 films.
Peter Mack, you did another one with him. You did 2 movies with Peter. You did the other one called, what was that called?
Let me see. I think he would put me in, like, Where's Waldo? Oh, The Craze.
The Craze, yeah. Tell me about that.
That was a wonderful film about these very famous gangster twins. And it's a true story, and he did a wonderful film about them. But what happened was they were all sitting at dinner, and we have no money to pay for the singer. We need an American singer, because Judy Garland used to come, and they all turn and look at me like this. I can't do this. I can't. They said, okay. So I'm in the film like that, just singing.
Some of of the opera stars like you have, you're a great opera star. When you're out there, some of the people coming backstage must be exciting after the performance.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Do you receive them after the performance, or do you just hide yourself away?
No, I can't. Sometimes I can't help it. There was one girl that was sitting there. I took a long time to get my makeup off, and this was in France. And she was sitting there. She said, "I've waited for you," and she fell into my arms crying. And she said, "When I was 12 years old, I saw your film Carmen. I ran out of the house and I tried to find you. My parents couldn't contain me." And she said, "Now I saw you." She was here sobbing like this, and her parents were there, and I said, "Come on, let's all have a drink," because I don't know what it was that touched her, but something touched her so deeply that she had to run out of the house. And I looked at her parents, and I thought maybe her parents are too conservative, and she wanted that thing that I have. You know, when you're born in the streets, you're not very conservative.
When I see you, Carmen is really Julie Migenes.
It's a big part of me.
It's a big part of Julia Migenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the way you were brought up.
Yes.
That is the family, Carmen, the craziness, all
yes,
this.
yeah, independence, independence,
yeah.
fighting for your independence.
Where would you like to see yourself 5 years from now, Julie?
I think I'd love to open up a school.
Really?
Really.
A school?
You know, an actual school for singers, young singers. Yeah.
In California or New York? New York
I don't
is
know.
a place.
New York or the south of France.
South of France, yeah, I like that too. Yeah,
That sounds
get
good.
away from America for a while. I agree with you.
You know?
Yeah, south of France.
Something
That's my
like
love
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to live in Saint-Tropez and all that.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
I was just in
wonderful.
Nice, and it was fabulous.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it's wonderful.
Gorgeous.
It's a wonderful life. You just got back from Europe.
Yeah, 5 times in 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, because I was working
Great
on something in
reviews, too.
between.
Great
it was
reviews.
wonderful. It was wonderful.